The United States of America is one of the most powerful and talked about countries in the world. We hear about its elections, its movies, its technology companies, and its foreign policy almost every day. But what is the United States really like, beyond headlines and social media? In this video, we will look at the country in simple English. We will talk about its geography, history, political system, economy, culture, and everyday life. The goal is not to praise or attack the United States, but to understand how it works and why it matters. The United States is located in North America. The main part of the country stretches from the Atlantic Ocean in the east to the Pacific Ocean in the west. There are also two important states outside the main area, Alaska in the far northwest, and Hawaii, a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean. The U.S. is one of the largest countries in the world by land area. It has mountains, deserts, forests, large rivers, and long coastlines. Because of its size, the climate and landscape can be very different from one region to another. Winters in the northern states can be very cold, while parts of the south are warm or even hot most of the year. The country is divided into 50 states and a federal district, Washington, D.C., which is the capital. Each state has its own government and laws, but they all share the same federal government. Before Europeans arrived, North America was home to many different Native American nations with their own cultures and territories. In the 17th and 18th centuries, European powers, especially Britain, established colonies on the East Coast. These British colonies grew in population and economic strength. In the late 18th century, conflict with Britain over taxes and control led to the American Revolution. The colonies declared independence in 1776 and created a new country, the United States of America. In the 19th century, the United States expanded westward across the continent. This expansion brought new land and resources, but also wars, the displacement of native peoples, and deep conflicts over slavery. A major civil war in the 1860s was fought mainly over the issue of slavery and the structure of the Union. After the war, slavery was formally ended, but racial inequality and discrimination continued for many generations. In the 20th century, the United States became an industrial giant and played a key role in both World War I and World War II. After World War II, it emerged as one of the two global superpowers, together with the Soviet Union. The U.S. economy, its military power, and its cultural exports made it highly influential around the world. Today, even after many changes, the United States is still one of the central players in global politics and the world economy. The United States is a federal republic and a representative democracy. The Constitution, written in the late 18th century, is the basic law of the land. Power is divided into three main branches: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. The executive branch is led by the president, who is both head of state and head of government. The president is elected for a fixed term and works with a cabinet of appointed officials. The legislative branch is called Congress. It has two parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Members of Congress make federal laws, approve budgets, and have the power to declare war. The judicial branch is made up of the federal courts, including the Supreme Court. These courts interpret the Constitution and decide whether laws and government actions are legal. There are two main political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, although smaller parties also exist. Political debate in the U.S. can be intense and polarized, with strong opinions on issues like taxes, healthcare, immigration, and foreign policy. The United States has one of the largest economies in the world. It produces goods and services in almost every sector: agriculture, manufacturing, technology, finance, entertainment, and more. Farms in the U.S. grow corn, soybeans, wheat, and many other products that are exported worldwide. Factories make cars, airplanes, industrial machines, and electronics. Large technology companies develop software, smartphones, online platforms, and artificial intelligence. A big part of the U.S. economy is the service sector. This includes finance, healthcare, education, retail, tourism, and digital services. Cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles are major centers for finance, technology, and media. The U.S. dollar is a key part of the global financial system. Many international trade contracts and reserves are held in dollars. This gives the United States significant influence, but also big responsibility, because its decisions can affect the entire world economy. At the same time, there are serious challenges. High levels of national debt, strong competition from other countries, and large differences in income and wealth inside the country itself. One of the most notable features of the United States is its diversity. The population includes people with roots in Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Pacific, as well as Native American communities. People speak many languages at home, but English is the main language of public life. Spanish is also widely spoken, and many cities are multilingual. The U.S. has no official national religion, and the Constitution protects freedom of religion. There are many Christian denominations, as well as Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, and other religious communities. There are also people who identify as non-religious or secular. In culture, the United States is known for music, movies, television, and sports. Hollywood films and American series reach audiences all over the world. Music styles like jazz, rock, hip-hop, and pop have strong American roots. Sports such as American football, basketball, and baseball are very popular domestically, while basketball and other sports have a global fan base. Everyday life in the United States can look very different depending on where you live and how much money you have. Many Americans live in suburbs, residential areas with houses, gardens, and shopping centers, often outside big cities. Cars are very important, because public transportation is limited in many regions. For many people, commuting to work by car is a normal part of the day. Work culture can be fast and competitive. Full-time jobs often come with limited vacation days compared to some other countries. Health insurance is a major concern, because the healthcare system is complex and often expensive. Many people receive health coverage through their employers, while others rely on government programs or pay directly. There are high levels of wealth and comfort for some, with large homes, advanced technology, and many consumer choices. At the same time, there is visible poverty, homelessness, and communities that struggle with crime, unemployment, or lack of services. Racial and social inequalities remain a serious issue, and debates about justice and reform continue. The United States faces many internal and external challenges. Inside the country, issues like healthcare costs, student debt, gun violence, racial inequality, political polarization, and climate change are widely discussed. Outside its borders, the U.S. has to manage relations with allies and rivals, and decide how involved it wants to be in conflicts around the world. Climate and environment are also major topics. The United States is both a large producer of emissions and a leader in some green technologies. How it chooses to handle energy, transportation, and industry will affect not only its own future, but also the global climate. Because of its economic size, military power, scientific research, and cultural output, the United States will likely remain an important global actor for many years. However, it now operates in a more multipolar world, where many countries have growing influence. Inside the US, future direction will depend on political choices, technological change, demographic trends, and how well the country can reduce internal tensions. For people outside the United States, the country can look inspiring, confusing, attractive, or worrying, depending on personal experience and media sources. As with any large and complex society, simple stereotypes do not tell the full story. To understand the United States, it helps to look calmly at its history, its strengths, its problems, and the daily lives of its people. In the end, the story of the United States is still being written. In the decisions of its leaders, the innovation of its businesses, and the hopes and struggles of more than 300 million people who call it home.